you're just signing on, just let yourself get cozy, get comfy. We're going to begin in a seated position, but if you want to take these next couple of minutes to kind of take out any little stretches your body may need before we get started, then feel free. Hopefully you all saw my post about bringing something to use in place of a strap. I know most of you probably don't have a yoga strap at home, which is no big deal because you can easily use a long scarf, which is what I'll use today. Another option would be like a long resistance band. This can actually feel really good too. So if you have one of those, you can grab that. So take this next minute or so to run and grab that. You may also want a blanket. We're going to be doing some stuff on the knees today. So if you want a blanket to pad up your knees, then that can feel really good. And then I always like to have blocks. They're not necessary today, but you may want one towards the end as we come into a little inversion before we close out our practice. So again, that's completely up to you. And if you do have whatever you're using in place of a strap, I'm going to just call it a scarf. So whatever you're using, go ahead and place it towards the back of your mat, like the left side of your mat where your head would go when we're lying back in Shavasana. And yeah, that's it. I hope that everybody's doing good. We'll give it one more minute for people to show up. All right, I am going to get started right on time. Be mindful of your time. We're going to begin in a comfortable seat. So I'm sitting up on a blanket. You don't have to. You can always sit on the edge of a blanket if your hips are feeling a little tight this morning. You could sit on a block to raise your hips up even higher if that's more comfortable. But allow yourself to find any wiggles so that you're nice and rooted and grounded through your sits bones. And then lift up tall through your spine. Let your hands fall in your lap however they're most comfortable. So they can be palms facing down in that effort to kind of ground yourself a little bit. If you're already feeling like the thoughts and the chaos kind of setting into the mind, then just ground yourself a little bit. Your hands could come by your sides with your palms facing down as well. That can help to ground you. Or you can turn your palms face up more in that effort to receive. So completely your choice. And then when you're ready, just close down through your eyes or keep a soft gaze out in front of you if that's more comfortable. And begin to rest your awareness on your breath. And as we begin to settle in, I'll just remind you all that this is a gentle, all levels practice, so we're going to be moving slowly. For those of you that have a little more energy that you're wanting to put into your practice, then you can do that by just accentuating through the movements, really using your breath and putting your energy into the moves, as well as maybe when we are taking down dogs a couple of times. I have worked in a couple of down dogs. Maybe you take that time to flow through a vinyasa if your body is calling out for that. So just be mindful. I'm not going to be cueing any kind of vinyasa, but just know that that's an option for you. So we'll just treat ourselves with love and compassion, doing what feels right and feels good in our bodies as we move through practice. Always backing away if there's any kind of pain whatsoever. We're always looking for those good feeling sensations. So you may feel a little bit of uncomfortable sensation or a little bit of resistance where you're holding on to tension. And that's when we go to the breath, because it can feel really good to release those areas. But other than that, anything more than just that slight feeling of a tension sensation, you want to back away and always be mindful of what you're feeling. Begin to just notice and observe what's going on around you. So we've been following the breath and you've been listening to my voice, just notice the sounds, notice the smells, using your senses to take in your surroundings. And then see if you can let all of that go and return to the breath. Just following your inhales, following your exhales, just observing, noticing the rise of your chest as you take a breath in. Notice the relaxation in your body as you exhale. You might notice that slight little pause between the inhales and exhales. And then when you're ready, maybe begin to deepen your breath slightly, taking in a little more air. See if you can fill up into your belly and expanding through your rib cage, filling up into the top of your lungs, the top of your chest, feeling everything expand. And then as you exhale, let the air go, releasing it from your chest, all the way into your belly, hollowing out, emptying out, and letting it all go. Continue with that breathing pattern for a few more rounds if it feels good. You can always add on that slight restriction at the back of your throat, bringing in the Ujjayi breath, that victorious breath, creating the sound of ocean waves to help relax you and anchor you and ground you here in this moment. If you still have thoughts creeping in, just again, observe them, watch them, and continue bringing yourself back to the breath. If you'd like to, you can take a mental scan of your body, beginning with your crown of your head and working your way down and using your exhales to let go of any holding and any tension you might be experiencing. So softening through your forehead and that space between your brows, relaxing all those tiny muscles around your eyes, softening your cheeks and your jaw, relaxing through your neck and your shoulders, feeling your arms fully supported with your hands in your lap wherever they're most comfortable. Relaxing through your torso and your tummy. Let go of any holding in your hips, your legs, even your ankles, your feet, and your toes. Let it all go. Bring yourself to this moment, right here, right now, knowing and trusting that you're exactly where you need to be. Accepting all that your practice has to offer you today in these next 60 minutes. Sending love and gratitude to your body, to yourself for showing up. You've taken the biggest step. You're here. Now just watch as your practice unfolds, as you return home to your center. Take a couple more breaths. On your next inhale, slowly lift the arms up and overhead, palms touch. On your exhale, draw your hands down to your heart center, thumbs pressing into your sternum, and take a moment to set an intention for your practice today if that feels good, feels right for you. Always keeping it positive and in the present moment. I am safe. I am healthy. I am peaceful. I am free. Whatever resonates most with you, breathe into those words, that intention you've set, and then allow your forehead to fall down to your fingertips, connecting head to heart and sealing in your intention. Take another breath into your heart space. And then slowly release your hands down to your lap once again. And with your chin pressing towards your chest, just take a couple of rolls with your head and neck, just feeling into the back and the sides of the neck. Pausing if you find a spot that needs a little extra attention. And then coming back through center, slowly lift up through the crown of your head. And we're all going to come to a seat now with our left leg in front. So if you have your right leg crossed in front, just go ahead and make that switch now. Lift up nice and tall through your spine. Take another inhale, lift the arms up high. On your exhale, your arms are going to come out to the sides, palms facing up. Begin to squeeze your shoulder blades together as you breathe into your heart. Feel that big heart opening. Take another breath here, and then on your exhale, cross your right arm on top of your left, and then bring the backs of your forearms together. The backs of your hands can touch, or you can take a full bind, bringing your palms to touch. So we're coming into our eagle arms. Your elbows are in line with your shoulders. Gaze is straight out in front of you, or close your eyes and just feel into the stretch in through your shoulders. On your inhale, begin to lift the elbows up towards the sky. Your chin and gaze may lift as well. On your exhale, elbows come down towards your navel, chin comes towards your chest. We'll do that 2 more times. Big breath in and out as you round it down. 1 more time, deep inhale and exhale. Inhale, come back through center. Slowly begin to turn towards the right. So your elbows are kind of over that right leg. Inhale as you give a little lift. Exhale as you round your elbows down towards that right thigh. 2 more times, slow with your breath. Big inhale and exhale. 1 more deep breath in and out. Inhale, come back through center. We're going to turn towards the left and do that same thing. Inhale as your elbows rise. Exhale as you round it down. 2 more times, flow with your breath, not rushing, taking your time, feeling into the stretch through the back of that right shoulder. Inhale, come back through center. Slowly unwrap the bind, arms reach out to the sky, out to the side, and then slowly let your hands come back behind you. You can keep your fingertips pressing into the earth or make fists back behind you. Roll your shoulders up, down, and back as you begin to press into your hands, lifting through your heart. Shoulder blades are squeezing together back behind you. Your chin and gaze may lift. If it feels comfortable, you can drop your head back, but be mindful of your neck. Take another big breath. And then on your exhale, slowly come back through center, bringing your hands to the fronts of your knees. Lift up tall through your spine. Take a breath. And then on your exhale, slowly begin to walk your hands out in front of you. So they don't have to come out far. This is completely up to you. Take it to a space that feels good in your hips. And then maybe just begin to find some gentle rocks side to side. So we feel into both hips here. If you prefer stillness, then just let yourself, allow yourself to find that stillness. When you're ready, slowly walk your hands back. We're going to use our hands and our knees to bring our knees together, and we'll just switch cross of the legs. So this time your right leg is going to be in front of you. You can wiggle around a little bit to find nice grounding energy through your sits bones. Take an inhale, arms reach up. On your exhale, bring your hands out to the sides, palms facing up. Begin to Squeeze the shoulder blades together as you lift through your heart. Take another breath here. On your exhale, cross your arms in front of you. This time, left arm is on top of your right. Bring your forearms together, the backs of your hands together, or wrap your hands around to take that full bind. Bring your elbows so that they're in line with your shoulders, and we're gonna flow through that sequence. On the inhale, lifting your elbows up, chin and gaze lift. Exhale, rounding your elbows down towards your navel, chin comes to your chest. 2 more times, nice and slow with the breath. Last one, big breath in and out. Inhale, come back through center. We'll turn to the right once again. Take a breath here. On your exhale, elbow comes down towards that right thigh. Inhale, lifting the elbows, feeling the stretch. Exhale, slowly round it all in. One more time on this side. Big breath in and out. Inhale, come back through center. Turn your torso so it's facing over towards the left. And again, inhale, give your elbows a little lift. Exhale, round it down. 2 times, big breath in and out. Really getting into the shoulders here. Nice, beautiful shoulder opener. Good for those of you that are sitting at your desk a lot, looking at a computer. Coming back through center, bring your torso back through center, uncross your arms, reach them out to the side, and then slowly bring your hands back behind you. Again, either coming on your fingertips or making fists. Roll the shoulders up, down, and back as you press into your hands, lifting through the heart, squeezing the shoulder blades. Find the gaze that works for you. Take one more deep, expansive breath, feeling the chest lift. And then as you exhale, slowly bring yourself back through center. Hands come to your knees, lifting up tall through your spine. And then when you're ready, slowly begin to walk your hands forward. Your hands may not come out as far on this side. You may notice that this side is tighter than the other side, or you may have more room. You can either find stillness or take those gentle rocks side to side if that feels good. When you're ready, slowly walk your hands back in. Use your hands to support your knees. Bring your knees together. From here, just step them out wide as your mat, and just let your knees kind of rock side to side for a moment. And then coming back through center, we're going to come onto all fours in our tabletop position, so however you want to get there. And if you want to grab a blanket, if you weren't already sitting on it, then go ahead and grab that now. I'm going to turn this way, and if you want to turn towards the long edge of your mat, you can do that as well. It's completely up to you, no big deal if you want to stay facing towards the front of your mat. So let's come to our tabletop position. Our wrists are below our shoulders, our knees are below our hips, and we'll flow through a few cat-cows. So on your inhale, drop your belly, lift your head, and lift your tail. On your exhale, press into your palms, chin comes to your chest. Couple more times with the flow of your own breath. Deep inhale and exhale. One more big breath in and exhale. Hollow it all out. From here, come back to a neutral spine. On your inhale, you're going to extend your right leg back behind you. Keep your toes tucked under, so you're getting a stretch through the bottom of the foot, and begin to rock forward and back. So we're feeling a little bit of energy as the heel presses away, up calf muscle up through the back of the leg. And then when you're ready, pause, give that right leg a little lift and cross it over to the left, resting down on the top of that left foot, and begin to look over your left shoulder, creating a nice C curve in the spine. Slowly bring your torso back through center. We're going to give that right leg a little lift once again and bring it all the way over to the right so that the inside edge of your foot is pressing into your mat. Slowly press yourself up so you're coming high on that left knee. The right leg is extended out. Again, the side of that foot is pressing into the mat. Take a deep inhale, lift your arms up. On your exhale, let your right hand come down to that right leg and your left fingertips reach towards the side wall in a side body stretch. And you can play with your gaze here, finding what works, whether you want to look down, looking straight ahead, or look up. Do what feels good. On your next inhale, both arms reach up tall. On your exhale, take that left hand, bring it down beside you so that your shoulder is above your wrist. And then you're still pressing into the inside edge of that right foot, and that right arm extends straight up to the sky. So we're coming into a modified side plank here. Keep the arm extending up as you take a breath in. On your exhale, you're going to sweep that arm through the opening of your left arm and left leg, reaching towards the back. Coming into a little twist. Inhale, reach it back up. Exhale, reach and twist. One more time, big breath in and out. Inhale, reach that arm up, and you can stay right here or turn your palm to face towards the left side and begin to reach that right arm up and over your ear, reaching towards the left side of the room. So you're feeling a nice extension through your whole right side of your body as that right foot presses away from you. Fingertips reach in the opposite direction. Feel that nice stretch. On your next inhale, press up out of that left hand. Rise up, both arms reach up tall. On your exhale, let your right hand come down. Take that side body stretch once again. On your next inhale, both arms reach up. Exhale, let that left hand come down once again. Come into your modified side plank here once again, either leaving that arm lifted or up and over your ear. And you can stay right here, or if it feels good, maybe begin to lift that right leg up off of your mat, sending the heel towards the side wall as your toes point forward. So again, you see that long line of energy from your heel all the way through your fingertips. And you don't have to do this. You can leave the foot resting down on the mat if that's more comfortable. If you have a little more energy to burn, maybe you bend through that right knee, reaching back with your right hand, and give yourself a nice stretch through the front of the thigh. Testing your balance here as well. Again, do what works for you and your body in this moment. If you have the foot held, slowly release, reach everything long, and then release that foot down to your mat. Press up off that left hand. Both arms reach up tall. Take a breath. Exhale, let your hands come down in front of you. So we're coming to a tabletop position, but that right leg is extended out to the side. So if this is not comfortable for you, go ahead and just bring that knee back in so you're coming to a regular tabletop position. We're going to come into a little twist here. Inhale that left arm up to the sky. Exhale, slowly thread that arm through the opening of your right arm and your right leg and come down onto that left shoulder. So we're coming into our thread the needle shape with that right leg extended. Again, if this is not comfortable for you, just go ahead and bring that right knee in. Your right hand can rest right in front of your face as your head rests down on the mat. Or you can reach that right arm towards the front of the room. Maybe that right arm reaches up to the sky. Maybe you like to reach it back behind you towards that left hip, coming into a little bind. These are all options, just ideas. Again, always listen to your body and your inner guidance. If you have the bind, slowly release. Bring that right hand in front of your face once again. Press into the palm as you slowly unwind. That left arm reaches up, and then slowly release it back down. We'll give that right leg a little lift, sweep it back behind you, and then bend through the knee, coming back into your tabletop, and you can let your hips sway side to side. And then when you're ready, finding stillness, we're going to do the same sequence on the other side. Extend your left leg back behind you. Keep your toes tucked under. Feel that stretch through the bottom of the foot. And then if it feels good, begin to rock forward and back. When you're ready, give that left leg a little lift. Cross it over to the right, resting it down on the top of the foot, and begin to look over that right shoulder. Slowly bring your torso back through center. Give that left leg a little lift. Swing it all the way over to the left, so you're pressing into the inside edge of that foot. And then press yourself up onto that right knee, coming up high. Take a big breath, arms reach up. On your exhale, let that left hand come down, right fingertips reach towards the side wall. Side body stretch. Breathe into the right side of the body. Take whatever gaze works for you, either looking down or straight ahead, or maybe you look up. On your inhale, both arms reach up tall. On your exhale, let your right hand come down. That left arm is going to reach straight up. Take a big breath. On your exhale, let that left hand come through the opening of your right arm and your right leg, coming into a little twist. Inhale, lift it back up. Exhale, thread it right through. Inhale, lift. And exhale, take that little twist. Inhale, reach that arm back up and either stay right here or begin to reach those fingertips towards the side wall as that arm extends over the left ear. Again, you're pressing into that left foot, fingertips reaching in the opposite direction, feeling that nice extension through the whole left side of the body. Inhale, press yourself up off that right arm, both arms reach up. Exhale, let your left hand come down, right fingertips reach, opening up that side body. Slowly come back through center, both arms reach up. Let your right hand come down once again, either staying here with the foot planted down on your mat, that left arm reaching straight up. Maybe you reach up and over your ear. Maybe you begin to lift through that left leg, keeping the leg nice and active so the heel is pressing away from you. And again, you can stay here if you want to bend through that left knee, grabbing onto the foot with your hand, giving yourself a nice stretch through the front of the thigh. Continue to breathe, making that connection with your breath in every moment. If you have the foot held, slowly release, reach everything long. Release that foot back down to your mat, press up off that right hand, both arms reach up tall. On your exhale, let your hands come out in front of you, coming into your tabletop position with that left leg extended. So again, you can always bring that knee in and come to a table, your choice. On your inhale, right arm reaches high. Exhale, thread that right arm through, reaching towards your left toes, resting down on the right side of your head. That left hand can stay planted right in front of your face, or you can walk that arm forward, you can lift it up towards the sky, or you could bring those fingertips back behind you, reaching towards your right thigh, coming into a bind. Wherever you're at, sending yourself love and compassion, knowing you're doing the very best that you can. Always starting where we are and accepting ourselves, where we are in this moment. If you have the bind, slowly begin to release. Bring that left hand back in front of your face. Press into your palm, slowly unwind. That right arm reaches back up and slowly release it down. Coming back into your table, give that left leg a little lift, reach it back behind you, and bend through your knees. Go ahead and rock your hips side to side once again if you'd like. And then from here, go ahead and spread your knees wide, keeping your toes touching back behind you. Release your hips back, reaching your fingertips out in front of you and come into a child's pose. Feeling a nice stretch through your spine, through your hips, through your shoulders. From here, slowly begin to walk your hands back in. Come back up onto all fours. You can set your blanket aside and we'll come the traditional way on our mat once again if you've turned yourself. So from your tabletop position, walk your hands out in front of you about a handprint. Tuck your toes under, lift up through your hips and come into a downward facing dog. And of course, in our first down dog of the practice, we always feel into it. So take this moment, whether it's finding stillness or a little gentle movement, bending one knee and the other, rocking your hips side to side. Do what feels good and feels right. Maybe bending both knees, pressing into the palms of your hands, letting your head and neck hang heavy, feeling that nice stretch through the spine. And then we'll all look up between the palms of our hands in as many steps as it takes. Just walk your feet to the top of your mat, coming into your forward fold. Let your knees bend a lot so your chest is resting right down the tops of your thighs. And then we'll move a little bit with the breath. So on the inhale, begin to straighten your legs as you lift up. Exhale, come back into that fold. You can let your chest rest down, knees bent if that feels good. And do that a few times, straightening and bending. This time on the inhale, keeping your legs straight with a slight bend. Walk your hands up to your shins or your knees, halfway lift, flat back. On your exhale, slowly fold forward. On your inhale, press into the strength of your legs, rise up, arms reach all the way up overhead. On your exhale, hands come down to your heart. Take another deep inhale, arms reach up. On your exhale, swan dive down into your forward fold, maybe folding a little deeper now. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, bend your knees, strong legs, strong arms, rise up, arms reach overhead. Exhale, as you draw your hands to your heart, begin to sit your hips back, coming into your chair pose. So if you want to bring your big toes to touch, you can. Or you can leave your feet about hips width distance. Find what works for you. Make sure your weight is in the heels rather than in the balls of your feet. You don't want your knees extending over your toes. So only sink down as low as feels comfortable for you. This doesn't have to be a deep chair. And then when you're ready, bring your arms out in front of you, extending straight out, palms facing towards one another. See if you can use your arms extending to help you maybe sink a little lower if that feels right. Take a breath here in center. On your exhale, you're going to take that right arm and reach it back behind you, coming into a twist to the right. Inhale, come back through center. Exhale, left arm comes back behind you as you twist to the left. Inhale, come through center. We're going to do that 2 more times on each side. Exhale, twist right. Inhale through center. Exhale, twist left. Inhale through center. Exhale, twist right. Inhale through center. And exhale, twist left. Inhale through center. Exhale, sink a little lower. Inhale, press into the strength of your legs. Lift the arms up and overhead. Maybe you come into a little back bend, fingertips reaching back behind you slightly. And then slowly, on the exhale, swan dive down into your forward fold. From here, bend your knees a lot, place your hands down on your mat, and step your feet back into a downward facing dog. So in this down dog, you can stay here and find movement. You can drop your knees down, maybe take some more cat-cows, or some barrel rolls with your hips if that feels good, or you could take a child's pose and regroup after that chair sequence. When you're ready, we'll slowly all meet back in down dog and then look up between the palms of your hands as many steps as it takes. Walk to the top of the mat. From here, keeping your hands down on your mat, maybe just your fingertips. Step your right foot way back. Step it over to the right slightly to widen your stance, keeping your toes tucked under. And then walk your hands up that front leg, pausing at your hips. Make sure both hips are facing forward. That left knee is directly above your left ankle, and that right leg is extended back behind you, again, high on the backs of your toes. When you're ready, inhale, arms up to the sky, coming into your crescent warrior. Relax your shoulders, feel the strength and the power in your legs. Belly button is pulling towards your spine. Find the gaze that works for you, either straight ahead, or maybe you look up between your fingertips. Take another inhale here. On the exhale, you're going to bring that right arm in front of you, that left arm back behind you as you come into a twist. So just as we did in the chair, you can stay right here. If this is too much on your shoulders, you can always bring your hands down to your hips as well, your choice. Maybe you drop that left hand down that back leg and reach that right arm up and back. You can find a gaze either over that left shoulder, or you can look up towards your fingertips. Take another breath wherever you are. And then slowly unwind, come back through center, back into your crescent warrior. Take one more deep breath here. On your exhale, let your hands come down to your mat. Go ahead and step that left foot back, coming back into your downward facing dog. And again, you can find what works for you here. If you need a pause and a little break, drop your knees, send your hips back, take a child's pose. Stay in your table, find some movement, or stay in that down dog if you're feeling a little more energetic this morning. We'll all meet back in down dog when you're ready. And then looking up between the palms of your hands, once again, step to the top of your mat, coming back into your forward fold. Let's move the energy. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, root your feet, rise up, arms reach up. Exhale, hands come to your heart. Go ahead and sit your hips back once again. Let's go through that chair sequence. So again, only sinking down as low as feels comfortable for you. Extend your arms out in front of you. Take a big breath in center. On your exhale, right arm reaches back behind you as you twist to the right. Inhale through center. Exhale, twist left. Inhale through center. Exhale, twist right. Go at your own pace. Long, slow inhales. Slow exhales. One more time each side. Inhale as you come through center. Exhale, maybe sink a little lower. Inhale, strong legs, rise up, arms maybe reach up and back in a little back bend. And then exhale, swan dive down into your forward fold. Place your fingertips down on your mat. You can always grab blocks. Step that left foot back, keep your toes tucked under, and then walk your hands up that right leg. Bring that left foot so it's over towards the left to widen your stance and help you with your balance here. This will help you as we move into that twist. Keep that right knee above the right ankle, and pause at your hips. Make sure they're both facing forward. When you're ready, inhale, arms up to the sky, coming into that crescent warrior. Relax the shoulders, relax your face. Maybe smile. When you're ready, take a breath. On your exhale, bring your left arm out in front of you. Right arm reaches back behind as you twist towards the right. Find your stability here. And either stay here or drop that right arm down that back leg. That left arm reaches up and back, finding the gaze that feels good for you, either over that right shoulder or up towards those left fingertips. When you're ready, on the inhale, slowly release. Come back through center. Both arms reach up tall. On your exhale, your hands are going to come back down to your mat. I know we're working hard. Step that right foot back and come back into your downward facing dog. Stay in down dog. Take a table or a child's pose. Do what feels good. Just trying to work in something for everyone here. When you're ready, we'll all return to down dog, looking up between the palms of our hands. As many steps as it takes, go ahead and step to the top of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise up, arms reach overhead. Exhale, draw your hands to your heart. One more time with a chair sequence. Sit your hips back. Bring your arms out in front of you. Take a big breath through center. Exhale, twist to the right. Right arm reaches back behind you. Inhale through center. Exhale, twist left. 2 more times each side with the flow of your own breath. When you're finished, we'll pause in center. Take another inhale. Exhale, maybe sink a little lower. Inhale, strong legs rise up, arms reach up and back. This time on the exhale, just draw your hands down to your heart. Whew. Maybe rest your left hand on your heart, your right hand on top of your left, and feel your heart beating. Maybe close your eyes for a moment. Sending gratitude. You've worked hard. You deserve this pause. When you're ready, open up through your eyes. Let your arms fall down by your sides. I'm going to turn this way so you guys can see me. So we're going to set up for a little balance, coming into a little bit of an eagle. So if you'd like, if you have blocks, I like to set a block on both sides of my feet. So it's your choice. If you don't have blocks, no big deal. I'll walk you through that as well. So come into your mountain pose. Little bend through your knees, belly button pulling towards your spine. Roll your shoulders up, down, and back to let your arms fall heavy by your sides. Crown of your head is reaching up. And then find a steady gaze out in front of you. Slowly bring your arms out to the sides, just as we did in the beginning of practice. Begin to bend through that right knee slightly, sending the weight into that right leg. And then tap your left toes on the inside of that right ankle. You can stay here if you want to with your legs. Otherwise, give that knee a little lift and cross that left leg over the right. So here's where I like having blocks, because you can rest your toe on the block. If you don't have blocks, no big deal. Your toes can come down to your mat. You're going to want to bend a little bit through that standing leg though, so you're not putting too much pressure on the hip. Arms are out to the side. Take a breath. On your exhale, you're going to cross your right arm over the left, bringing either the backs of your forearms together, the backs of your hands, or taking that full bind with your hands. Make sure that your elbows are in line with your shoulders and breathe here. Find a steady gaze helping you with your balance. As we settle into our eagle pose. So I love eagle, and some of you have heard me share this little fun fact about eagles before, but some of you may have not, so I'm going to share it again. What's really neat about eagles is that when there is a storm, all other birds fly to find shelter. But the eagle, being kind of the mother of all birds, spreads its expansive wingspan and uses the strength that it has inside, feeding off of the energy of the storm, and it flies through the storm, rising above it, finding safety and security above all of the chaos of the storm. When you're ready, very slowly, we're going to unwind our eagle wings, spread them wide, find that security and helping you with your balance here. Uncross that left knee and very slowly begin to extend that left leg back behind you. It doesn't have to come up high. You can always rest the toes down. We're letting our eagle fly here, soaring above all of the chaos, all of the storms that life is throwing at us right now. Tapping into that eagle energy, feeling the strength and the power within us. Very slowly begin to bend through that left knee and release that foot down, letting your arms fall down by your sides. You can roll through your shoulders if you'd like. Maybe take a little wiggle with your legs if you'd like. And then when you're ready, we'll set up to do the same thing on the other side. So begin in your mountain pose. Find that steady gaze out in front of you, keeping your focus there. Begin to shift the weight into your left leg, bending slightly through that knee. You can tap your right toes on the inside of that left ankle and bring your arms out to the side once again. When you're ready, begin to cross that right knee over your left, either resting your toes down on your block or down on the mat. And then when you're ready, crossing left arm over the right, come into your eagle arms on this side. And keep that steady gaze. Using your core strength to help you here, feeling your power center, that power you have within you. Continue to breathe. And if you fall out of this pose, no big deal. We just get back up and we try again. Always trying to do it with a smile on our face, knowing it's no big deal. It's no big deal when we stumble and fall. What's important is that we pick ourselves back up and we try again. Very slowly begin to unwind through the arms, extend those eagle wings, uncross that right knee, and send that leg back behind you. Again, either keeping the foot lifted up off of your mat, or you can rest the toe down. If you want to come into a full warrior 3, extending the foot back behind you with your eagle arms, you can. Find what works for you and your body in this moment. Keep that laser sharp focus, that steady gaze, and feel your power. Breathe into your power here. Rising above all the chaos, all the drama, all the fear, all the anxiety. Finding your shelter above it all, that safety above it all. Very slowly begin to bend through that right knee and release the foot down. Release your arms down. Roll through your shoulders a couple of times again. Taking out any wiggles. And then from here, go ahead, if you have a block, just make sure that you have it kind of handy towards the back of your mat. And it's not going to be necessary, but if you want to use it, then it's there. We're going to come down to a seated position. So if you want to release onto your knees and come down that way, you can. Otherwise, we can come through a little squat, bringing your feet as wide as your mat, toes hanging off at a slight angle. Take an inhale, arms reach up. On your exhale, draw your hands down through your heart. Begin to release your hips down. Release one hand in front of you, one hand behind you, and slowly lower your hips all the way down. Giving your knees a nice big hug. Maybe you rest your forehead down on the tops of your knees, releasing any tension through the back of your neck. And then from here, go ahead and lift up tall through your spine, keeping your knees nice and bent. Your hands can either rest on the fronts of your knees or the backs of your thighs. If you want to give yourself a little more core work, then bring your arms out in front of you, palms facing up to the sky. Take an inhale, lift up tall. On your exhale, very slowly, begin to lower yourself all the way down onto your spine. So maybe pausing, taking another breath, and then exhaling, lowering a little more. Maybe you do this a few times, really challenging yourself, challenging your core center, your power center. Taking your time or releasing all the way down whenever you're ready. Walk your heels back towards your hips. Settle down through your low back. And then hug your knees into your chest, maybe taking some gentle rocks side to side if that feels good. We've made it. Maybe taking a deep breath in through your nose. Letting it out with a big sigh if that would feel good. And then when you're ready, go ahead and grab onto your scarf. Again, whatever you're using in place of a strap. And you're going to step that right foot into your strap. And extend that left leg straight out in front of you. Go ahead and just rest it right down onto your mat. So there's no tension through that left leg, no holding whatsoever. Begin to extend that right leg up towards the sky. And you're holding onto your scarf so that your upper arms from your elbows all the way up to your shoulders are relaxed right down on your mat. And we're using the scarf to slowly give ourselves a nice stretch through the back of that right leg. So again, you can keep a little bend in your knee if that feels more comfortable. And only take this to a place that feels good for you, where you're getting that nice, beautiful sensation. And then maybe closing your eyes and letting the breath allow you to soften even more into the shape. Take a couple more breaths. And then when you're ready, go ahead and take both sides of the scarf into your left hand. Bring your right arm out to the side, out to a T. And using the strap, excuse me, for guidance, excuse me, I'm so sorry. Slowly let that right leg open up out to the right. So we're giving ourselves a nice stretch through that inner thigh. If your scarf or your strap isn't quite long enough, you can hold it in your right hand if you want to. So find what works for you as we learn to modify and make adjustments. And then find that nice stretch with the support of the scarf. Slowly bring that leg back through center. We'll maybe switch the ends of the scarf into your right hand. Bring your left arm out to the side, out to a T. This time you're going to let that right leg cross over the body. Feeling that nice stretch through your hip, your IT band. And breathe. Breathe into the sensation, creating space on the inhale, softening on the exhale. On your next inhale, slowly bring that leg back up through center. take the scarf in both hands, bend through your left knee, and go ahead and step that left foot into the strap. Release the right leg out in front of you, going ahead and letting it rest right down on the mat. And then make the adjustments with your hands, again, keeping your upper arms resting down on the mat. Slowly use that scarf or strap to guide that left leg back towards you. Again, only going to a space that feels good for you, keeping a little bend in the knee if that feels better. And maybe you play with sending the heel up towards the sky, and then as you exhale, maybe you draw that leg back towards you. So we're not forcing though, we're just allowing the breath to take us where we need to be. You might find a little shaking in the leg after all of those chair poses we did. And then slowly take the scarf into your right hand. That left arm comes out to the side. Let that left leg open up to the left, giving yourself that nice stretch through your inner thigh. Slowly, when you're ready, come back through center. Switch the scarf into your other hand. That right arm will come out to a T, and slowly let that left leg cross over your body, coming into a twist. Seeing if you can keep that left shoulder down on your mat as well. So both shoulders are planted, and that left leg extends across the body. Slowly come back through center. Take your scarf in both hands once again. Bend through that right knee. You're going to step that foot into the scarf so that both feet are in your scarf now. And from here, find the position that works for you. So your heels are pressing straight up towards the sky, feeling that nice stretch through the back of both legs. And you can stay right here if you'd like, or begin to walk your hands up your scarf, maybe beginning to reach your hands up towards your toes, lifting your head and your shoulders up if you'd like, as long as this doesn't cause any strain on your neck, feeling the core activation here. Take another breath, and then exhale, slowly release your head and shoulders down. You can bend through your knees, remove the scarf and set it aside. Go ahead and hug your knees into your chest. Maybe take some gentle rocks side to side. And then we're going to take these next 10 breaths or so to find any shapes or any movements that your body's calling for before we set up for Shavasana. So if you kept your block or whatever prop you're using in place of a block handy, maybe you want to set that under your sacrum as you lift up through your hips. Rest your hips down and then send your feet up towards the sky, coming into a little inversion. Again, that's just an option. You can remove that. You can always do that with your hands under your hips and extend your feet up. Maybe you bend through your knees, holding onto the insides or outsides of your feet, pulling your knees back towards your shoulders and come into a happy baby. Maybe you just keep your knees hugging into your chest and continue rocking side to side, finding that nice soothing energy from that motion. Take a few more breaths wherever you are. And then when you feel ready, we'll set up for our final resting pose, our Shavasana. So if you have a blanket handy, maybe you want to roll it up, place it under your knees, creating a little flexion with your knees. You could use your blocks. Allow yourself to settle in a way that feels comfortable for you. Arms maybe by your sides, palms facing up in that effort to receive. Maybe one hand on your heart, one hand on your belly. Maybe both hands on your heart. Do what feels good and feels right, taking out any last-minute wiggles to allow yourself to fully sink into this final resting pose, our most important pose of our practice. Allowing all that beautiful energy that we've created through our movement to bring healing to our body, mind, and spirit. Letting yourself fully relax in this moment. Letting go. Shavasana. When you feel ready, slowly begin to bring your awareness back to your breath and back to your body. Adding on those very gentle, subtle movements when it feels right, wiggling out through your fingers and your toes. Maybe circling your wrists and your ankles. Maybe rocking your head side to side or reaching arms up and overhead, taking a nice deep full body stretch like you're just waking up in the morning. And then when you feel ready, bending through your knees, allow yourself to rock onto whichever side feels best to you, pausing in your fetus pose for just a moment, breathing in that energy of fresh starts and rebirth and new beginnings. Using the strength of your upper body, slowly begin to press yourself up to a comfortable seated position, keeping your eyes closed down for just a moment, or keeping that soft gaze if that's more comfortable for you. And let your hands fall in your lap, palms face down for just a moment to fully ground yourself back in. And then bringing your hands to heart center, keeping your eyes closed, maybe take in these words. I'd like to read to you the Bodhisattva prayer for humanity. May I be a guard for those who need protection, a guide for those on the path, a boat, a raft, a bridge for those who wish to cross the flood. May I be a lamp in the darkness, a resting place for the weary, a healing medicine for all who are sick, a vase of plenty, a tree of miracles, and for the boundless multitudes of living beings, May I bring sustenance and awakening, enduring like the earth and sky, until all beings are freed from sorrow and all are awakened. You take a moment to breathe into those words and that prayer. Maybe sending some of this beautiful energy we've created on our mats today out into the world to bring healing to all of those in need. And then when you're ready, bowing your forehead to your fingertips, connecting head to heart center, just as we started our practice. The light in me honors and deeply bows to the light in each of you. With so much love and gratitude for sharing your practice with me today. Namaste.